What's up, buddy?
Hey,
How you been, mate?
I'm in
Hey.
good. I'm in the process of making a video about
Yeah.
Kelly Slater getting a wild card at Trestles. And
Yeah.
I think that it's going to come across in the wrong way. Like, people don't know the love I have for the GOAT.
Yeah.
When he won in 2022, I'm going to tell you that there were tears in my eyes
Yeah.
because that was pretty special.
It was.
It was inspiring, man.
So the flavour of your video is what I'm hearing is you're going to talk about the highlights and what the GOAT means to you, but then you're going to go to the raw data and go, what the fuck are you doing? As a fan of Kelly, I don't understand why he's going to Trestles because he must admit he's not going to go well at Trestles.
Yeah.
He doesn't surf that fast anymore. You can see he's 53. He's not surfing the same dynamics as a 20-something surfer. He's still doing the maneuvers, but not as fast, as sharp as he once was.
Why is he doing this? And, and I'm not here to bury the GOAT. The dude's the greatest of all time. He's probably the best athlete in the world of sports. I could make that argument.
Mate, why Trestles? GOAT, sponsor Tahiti, sponsor Pipe. I still think, as a 53-year-old to another 53-year-old, I still think Kelly could win both those events. I put money on it.
If the conditions are right, I think he could win Tahiti and Pipe.
Dude, okay, he's not surfing as fast, and his maneuvers and his aerial game is not the same. But his tube riding skills, I don't think have changed. I think they've matured like a good bottle of Margaret River red wine.
There's a touch of vinegar in there, mate. No, that's a real good question. Like, he's 53 now. I think that he has the wave knowledge. I think he has the high degree of barrel riding skill necessary to ride those barrels. But I think if he's even lost a second of quick twitch to be able to make those barrels, he's not going to be as good as, look at the competition. Idolo last year.
Yeah, dude. I mean, look at all sports. I'll take, for example, UFC. I watch a bit of UFC, and you see fighters that are getting close to, say, their 40s, and they're fighting someone in their 20s. They're losing. They don't have the cardio, the strength, the endurance. They lose. And then you look at Formula One, like Daniel Ricciardo pushing 40, got dropped for a younger guy. It just happens in all sports. There's not many sports where an older guy can keep competing unless it's probably lawn bowls. I don't know if you have lawn bowls in America, but
we don't have lawn bowling, but we have regular bowling, and it takes about the same amount of skill. And I'll tell you, surfing pipe is up there ranked among the highest, most difficult things to do in sport, I would say.
Yeah.
And an aging athlete will struggle with pipe and Teopu.
Yeah, but not Kelly. I'm gonna go out and say this. Kelly will not struggle because it's just tube riding. It's just a technique, a stance. It's not actually trying to do high performance maneuvers. And I still think he's relevant.
I agree with you on the tube riding at those other two spots, except let's go back to 2022 when he beat Seth Moniz with that backdoor barrel where he just made it under, that lip and it just grazed the top of his head. Like, luckily he didn't have hair. It just grazed the top of his head and he pulled in that pit. And that is basically what won him the Pipe Trophy. Is he 3 years away from that moment? Does he still have that millimeter of ability to make that barrel?
I've been watching him surf snapper recently, and yeah, for sure, I reckon he does. He's still in shape, and I just think he is a once in a lifetime athlete.
I agree with you on that.
Let's face it, he's a once in a lifetime. We're not going to see anyone surpass Kelly. I do. I'll put this to you. If Kelly was an Aussie, do you reckon he would have won 11 world titles?
No, he'd have been on a piss. He would have won 5.
Exactly. When everyone was on the piss during those first sort of, say, 4, 5, 6, 7 world titles, all the Aussie boys were all on the piss.
The one thing that does bother me that's in our sport, T-Bone, that no one really talks about is the fact that you can sponsor an event and put your own athletes in there. So in essence, you're trading money for a wild card. You're buying someone into the sport, and that just rubs me the wrong way. Look at the people who had to qualify, whether it be through trials or whether it be through rankings points that were hard-earned in CS conditions.
Who would be in line on that? Like, I've lost track on how this challenger, who gets a gig as a wild card, but who would be in line for Trestles?
Well, this is interesting because you have everyone that would qualify through the CS is in Australia right now, getting ready to surf the first event in Newcastle.
True.
So they're kind of dodging a bullet on that. I don't know if you've seen this rule. I went and looked it up last night. There's a rule in the WSL rulebook that says that it's at the commissioner's sole discretion to pick any wild card they want.
Yeah.
That's kind of heavy. And I feel like they're picking Kelly or Kelly's picking himself, and this is just not the right venue. We know that there are other venues where he could make a stronger impact. And if anything, this is the worst venue for him to make a strong impact. Now, maybe he's got some turns and airs left, but in comparison to the 2025 CT who just made the cut, you've got a lot of talent coming in hot.
Hey, listen, like, if Kelly is willing and able, let's say for Pipe, for example, I mean, he's won 8 Pipe world titles and obviously 11 world championships. Surely he's got a lifetime wild card for Pipe.
What, is he going to surf till he's 70 out there?
Hey, if he's willing and able, why not?
Yeah, I was just questioning that thinking, but I have to agree, like, if the guy is still pulling in at 70 and being the legend that he is, perhaps he just gets a wild card. He gets the Kelly exemption for the rest of eternity.
Mate, yeah, why not? Like, I think he's still got a good few years left in him.
Just not at Trestles.
No, not at Trestles, man. I just think Kelly, no. But like I said, he's small wave surfing not at that razor sharp level as the current crop on the CT. Imagine him and Phil. Like, he won't draw Phil. He'll draw Italo.
Imagine if Italo loses again to another wild card that's Kelly.
Mate, on the flip side, can you imagine that? Oh, mate,
that would be. It would certainly be entertaining. I will say that.
Obviously, out of known are sponsoring it. Surely there must be an out of known sponsored surfer. It's probably not. Why can't Kelly choose his own wild card? That would be more fun.
I believe the Outer Known sponsors Malia Emanuel, and I would say put her in there.
There you go. She's a good surfer. She'd probably go right at Trestles.
I would love that. She rips. But look, man, here, let me give you another story that could unfold through an Outer Known sponsorship. Kelly shows up as an ambassador with family in tow and does some commentating. You know how good he is at that. The other thing he does is he has a heritage heat with, I don't know, Kolohan Dino. And he handles it in that manner.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I still wouldn't even do a heritage heat out at Trestles. But I guess that, I mean, if you go back to the black and white, I mean, that him surfing Trestles, sort of his profile exploded from that movie and from that section at Trestles.
Hey, Kelly, favorite moments?
Oh, jeez, mate.
I put you on the spot.
Mate, there's so many, isn't there? I mean, the youngest and the oldest world champion. I mean, let's just state that fact. Listen to, like, still I go back to his heat with John at Chopes. Do you remember that barrel he got where he was pretty much upside down in the pit? Like, he got so sideways because he was sort of manoeuvring around the foam ball. It was just incredible. And do you remember remember when he got 2 perfect 10s? And I'm pretty sure he comes out of the barrel and cracks a can of beer. I thought, mate, this guy's off. What a weapon.
I think those are definitely the standouts, the Tahiti events that he had. And that heat against John, I mean, is called the greatest heat of all time. And I tend to back that. Mm. The other one that, like, hits me pretty hard just because I remember where I was when it happened. I was watching it on a bad satellite dish signal onto a computer with Martin Daly on the Indies Trader 3, and Kelly did that helicopter air at Bell's against Nick.
Yeah.
And he still lost that damn heat, but he gave it a Hail Mary that will not be forgotten.
Yeah. I would think if you were to ask Kelly, what's your greatest victory? I'd like to think he might say his last one at Pipe would mean probably the most. I could be wrong. That could be a question for the guy. Out of your 56 CT wins, what's been the most meaningful?
I think so. I know that for a whole couple of generations of people who surfed, it was their most meaningful. It was so inspirational. The guy's been training and eating properly for decades. That he was able to attain that level of performance is nothing short of amazing. The one thing we've forgotten is, when do you think his career should have ended? I think it's when you carried him up the stairs at Margaret River.
Listen, I didn't expect him to surf in the next event after we cheered him up. So, I mean, I was all open for an invitation to Fiji to cheer him up again. Like, I had a feeling that he might take the odd wild card. I wasn't expecting to take Fiji. But listen, as an old dude, I think he retired. Like, last year when he retired was a farewell tour. Like, he's not coming back to Margaret River. There's a few places that he probably wouldn't go back to, maybe Bells. So it was more of a retirement year last year. So I think when he ended it, I actually think he ended it right. I don't want to see him end at Trestles as a wild card. Can we end it at Pipe? To me, Pipe seems the most appropriate place because he's had so many wins there. But can you imagine next year, 26, a new format, the big finale at Pipe, Kelly's a wild card, fucks up some people people's potential world title hopes and dreams, and he wins, and then he drops the mic and fucks off forever.
Is that fair for them to roll out Kelly Slater at Pipe every year and have him beat somebody who's going for a title?
Hell yeah.
All right, that's what I wanted to hear.
We're getting rid of the cut, so we're just going to bring the goat back to the Pipe. He can cut people at Pipe and crush their dreams.
The goat is the new cut.
There you go.
Hey, T-Bone, how am I going to end this video?
Long live the goat, buddy.